So, hello and welcome to the first panel of this day of e-commerce growth summit. I'm Valentin Radu, CEO and founder at Omniconvert, and today it's my pleasure to have Miru, which is handling the e-commerce operations for MOBEXPERT. And also we have Kamran, which is coming from Tempur Sili, and he's an old friend of mine and ours as well. And also we have Robert, which is the GM of Fashion Days from Romania. So hello everyone and welcome.
Hi, thank you
Hi.
for invitation.
Thank you for inviting us.
Great. So the first question is, how's everything going for your businesses and how COVID affected you and your companies? Miru, you're the first one.
As always, thank you. Thank you guys for inviting me first, and congratulations for this beautiful event. I was online also yesterday, and I heard so many nice topics and a lot of useful information that you share with us, the community. So yeah, congratulations, you're really worth it, and you did a great job here. How about COVID and our business in Romania? What could I say? We are living really interesting times, and we also living the era of e-commerce this year. In Romania, we had lockdown in March, and at the beginning, of course. Everything was frozen. Everybody was thinking that we will be really, really affected, like airline companies, HoReCa industry, travel industry. So we thought that everything will go down and will be very hard for us to go up. But fortunately, we are in the right industry in e-commerce, and the things in e-commerce accelerating in a very good way for us also. So for our industry, which is home and garden industry, furniture and decorations in specifically, people who weren't allowed to travel basically redirect their money through reshaping their houses or shaping their new homes. So they started to buy furniture and accessorize from the beginning of May till now. And for example, we improved our sales with 100% and approximately 200% in the second quarter and third quarter of this year. So basically, we had a lot of success online. We are also we have also physical stores in Romania. But regarding this offline and our physical stores, the things are not that good as the online is working. So we are deeply affected on this side of the business. We are trying to recover right now also. So, but the e-commerce part was really great. What could I say? That also the furniture made in Romania was very successful, 7 times more than last year in sales. So people are trying to support us and to support the Romanian businesses, and I'm really curious about what my colleagues will say about it.
Curious, and you're also, I think, overwhelmed with these activities. I can bet that this year was kind of busy for you if you compare it to last one, right?
Yes, we are actually busy right now because we are in Black Friday. Yesterday we started in Romania. In Romania, we started earlier there than in US or in Europe, and we are in the middle of the events.
Yeah. Excellent. So, Kamran, tell us a bit about what you do at Tempur and how Black Friday, how the pandemic has affected your company.
Sure. I'm the senior digital marketing manager over there. Basically, I'm a convergence point between SEO and CRO, and kind of give strategy and direction for the online campaigns on a global level to Tempur. And it was a very, very interesting year. Before I forget, thank you again. Very honored to be invited. This is a great event and great summit. And we had a very interesting year. The nature of Tempor, to begin with, is very brick and mortar and online. It's half and half, I would say. And brick and mortar has largely been what we have gained the most amount of respect, of awareness, and of traction. And that's kind of slipped into online as well. We were actually quite late to the online game. So that's a little bit of a background to Tempor. So we weren't very advanced when it came to online activities. We had the basics there, but not enough sophistication. When COVID hit us, we were caught very off guard. There was a lot of apprehension because all our brick and mortar stores were going to close down, and we weren't certain whether we did be able to cope when it shifts to online. But thankfully for me, they already had me for 6 months, and it kind of boomed in the quarter one and quarter two. There was like a 213% increase in online sales, and this wasn't just offline people moving to online. It was also a behavioral shift because of COVID. More people were staying indoors and perhaps using the bed a bit more for as office and the like. And you really want something premium if you're going to be using it every single day. And since we're recognized, Tempur is recognized as a premium brand. There was an increase in the amount of interest. So it wasn't just movement of traffic because the offline stores closed to online, but it was also an increase in interest that combined with it. So it was actually good for us in a way to have this. Uh, we and Having to deal with this with Black Friday that's coming up right now. We haven't yet launched any of the sales, but we're expecting a bumper year. The management has been extremely happy with how online has progressed. It's become mission critical. None of the people were furloughed or anything like that from the digital marketing team, because the importance and essence of the digital marketing team really became visible during this time.
Yeah. So, Robert, you've been using some attention-grabbing techniques earlier with having a different perspective. How's your perspective on the pandemic, and how's your experience so far?
We are in the industry, so the first reaction was, "God damn it! Nobody buys fashion in the middle of a crisis, especially in the middle of a lockdown." So we panicked in late March, and then we just doubled the sales. We honestly didn't understand. It took some time for us to understand that there is a huge shift from offline to online. And during this pandemic, we understood that the basics are the most important. So yes, we invest a lot of time and resources in technology for different features. But once the customers are flocking to your application and website and are doubling the sales, you understand that first you have to have the stock. Second, you have to deliver, which is not really easy. When you do it in hundreds of, then simply you have to be sure that that doesn't stop after just one day. You have to deliver 6 or 7 or 8 months in a row, a lot of stock and a lot of orders. So we are lucky right now. Honestly, we've been prepared for that. And as Miruna mentioned, we are also in during the Black Friday. The fact that I am here, it's I would say a luxury. Thanks for the invite. But the fact that we are able to take this conference during Black Friday shows that even though there is a lot of tension and pressure with the numbers are really high, and we can take a break and enjoy you guys.
That's great. So, anyways, I can bet that you've been preparing well, and now it's just the silence before the storm, because now from tomorrow onwards you will have to deliver on the promise, and you have I don't know, dozens of thousands of orders waiting in line, right?
As a matter of fact, with Fashion Days, the company I run, we started on Wednesday, the Black Friday, because we are in part of the same group with eMAG, which is, let's say, the Amazon of Romania, and which started today and had a huge growth. It would have been stupid from us to start in the same time when we use the same logistics. So we used 2 days in advance to take out of our warehouses more than 100,000 orders. So we have a lot of good feedback about the fact that Black Friday with Fashion Days means next day delivery or 2 days delivery, which is great. And today with eMAG, we are still connected. My computer is still connected on mute on the other conferences and on the dashboards. And we're happy to deliver orders of more than 100 million euros just for today. So lots of pressure on us and on the teams, but I would say the most on our logistics partners and our couriers. For this pandemic, we hired more than 1,200 people in the logistics, and for Romania, that's a big number.
Yeah. So moving further, what do you think are the 2 or 3 major measures that you've took this year so that you can cope with the demand? So from what I understand, on all of you, it was a burden so that you can cope with the demand once after you realize that it's actually a demand, and then the demand is kind of skyrocketing. So who wants to be first, to answer first?
I will go. I'm I'm here to help you guys.
Ladies first.
Ladies first, always. Yeah. What could I say? Congratulations, Robert, first, because I already received my Fashion Days from Black Friday. I already received my orders. I ordered on Wednesday, and I have all my order at home right now. So congratulations for you and your team, because you really did a great job. Regarding the measures that we took this year, like also Kamran said, a lot of people focus on their homes and on their houses and reshaping their house, because let's say it, we move at home totally, like with the office, with fun, with family, with everything. So the home is basically the place where everything's happen. So we started to say, for example, in March, to see that a lot of our clients are interested in their gardens and terraces, and also on their balconies, and they try to find furniture and decoration to create a special place outside, but in their own house. So one of the major measure that we took this year is to create and to implement an automation tool in our main warehouse, because we realized that the fast delivery is really important for our clients, and yes, this is one of the major measures. Then we focus on special campaigns, also special campaigns of free delivery, fast delivery, regarding services. Basically, we focus on services. We also go with inspiration, and we create special pages like Shop the Look style, where the people could go and inspire for how to organize their office at home, how to put everything together, and not to be too much. And also we try to bring our customers from the offline during the lockdown. So basically our 100% energy was dedicated to online during lockdown, and also after that. What could I say? That we also we are customer-centric organization. So we also used a lot of quizzes and ask our customers and our clients what to do for them, what to do better, and how could we help them. So basically we return to them and listen more.
Yeah, that was a great exercise, because we've been all stuck at our homes and we've started to look at these rectangles, just asking ourselves how to actually reach out to the others. And I think that was a great exercise, that not only the company started to listen more, but we ourselves started to realize that what we used to have is not so stable anymore, and the game is changing. So, Kamran, what about yourself? So, which are some major changes that happened in your organization or in your department post-COVID?
So, well, there was already an exercise that was going on in terms of making our premium brand more reasonable without diluting the brand. And how we were trying to do it was through installment payment plans and the like. But
Yeah.
that certainly went on hyperdrive when COVID came in, because the need to convert people who liked the brand and had aspiration into determination to buy it, made us focus a lot on that section about the checkout and about making it reasonable for them to buy in the installment plan. It was kind of very critical for us to do that. Secondly, we also were paying a lot of focus to the user experience and user journey. What we found was that people, Tempur Sealy stood for different things for different people. They associated it with different things. Some associated with the NASA technology that was used. Some associate it with being the originators of the memory foam and the like. So we also went on an exercise to do a cohesive story that has these different pillars together, so that we present ourselves as a rich company with a lot of legacy. And finally, in terms of the user journeys themselves, we did a lot of signposting. We improved the imagery. We kind of tried to we deep dived into the audits that were provided to us to look at where the block off points are, where people are getting turned off, and try to kind of guide them and usher them in a much more smoother fashion. So those are the things that we were focusing on when COVID happened, and it's helped greatly. It's kind of cemented the digital marketing machinery and engine at Tempur. Before the approach, because it was traditionally brick and mortar, and this is still new despite having a website for the last 7 years. It was still new, so they were a bit hesitant about investment in digital marketing to a large degree, but now it's a no-brainer for them.
Yeah. So, Robert, what about Fashion Days? Which were the major decisions that you took?
I think the major thing was that we took a lot of risks. And then I will talk about the risks. But the first thing was that we try to understand if that's a huge wave that's going to come, and then that we want to be on top of it, which means usually investment and time and focus.
Yeah.
So we decided after, as I said, after panicking a little bit and then understanding the numbers and the fact that the customers have had to change habits, then we started taking risks. So first risk was to hire a lot of people in the logistics on one side, but those people were meant to be to make all of us, either employees but mainly customers, feel safe and feel helped, let's say. Then after hiring a lot of people, we understood that we had to spend a lot of money in marketing in order to be there and to let our customers know that we have great services adapted to pandemic, that we can deliver safe and that we can deliver fast. Then we started hiring in our marketing and sales teams because they had to take care of a lot of volumes.
Yeah.
And then on top of the, let's say, classical digital marketing investment that scales up with the business, we understood that in these times you have to talk more about the brand and the services. So if we talk about, let's say, September to November, our marketing investment in brand was 5 times higher than last year, including a lot of airtime on TV, mainly about brands and our services and our customer benefits, not necessarily about sales and discounts. And then we understood that in pandemic times, there's going to be a lot of people that come from offline to online, and they expect almost similar experiences like in offline, but usually better in terms of the logistics part and feeling safe. But what does that mean? That in fashion, for example, if they go to the mall and they want to buy a jacket, they usually try 6 or 7 in different shops and then they buy one. If they want to do the same online, you have to have the process from order to refund very fast, and also the returns have to be fast. So we implemented fast return and return in our lockers. We managed part of our internal part of our group. We had a network last year of 300 lockers around Romania. Now we have 900 lockers, so that's another investment. And right now we placed a lot of efforts and resources on allowing customers to return in the locker and receive money in 30 minutes. So even though we don't check the parcel, you can put, you have to return, let's say, a jacket, but you can even add, I don't know, instead of a jacket, you can put some stones in it. You're going to get the money. You're going to get the money back. Obviously, the next time you're not going to be able to order or use our services, but we deliver really fast the money back because people don't want to have their money blocked. If they have the 7 jackets and buy one, the money for those 6 jackets do not have to be blocked in our accounts for like 3 days or 7 days or 10 days, because in their offline experience, they just use money for 1 jacket. So we understood that this is really important, and we used a lot of efforts in this kind of flow, not necessarily in, let's say, improving a little bit the user experience here and there or increasing the image galleries and so on. We focused a lot on the basic of e-commerce because we understood that there's going to be a lot of offline people coming to this world and they have to be serviced fast. Otherwise, they're not going to enjoy the experience, not going to come with us, and also not going to spend online. And it's in our interest to increase the bloody market more and more.
Yeah, so I think that's really impressive, and you've thought over these matters in terms of, at the end of the day, it's about customer experience, and if you want to have happy customers that come back and promote you during their in their social circles, then you need to provide outstanding services, which are common sense, because each one of us, if I would be paying for that jacket, I would expect the money if I don't like the jacket and I put it over there. But that also means investment, and I think that's a point of difference. I don't think there are too many players in the e-commerce which are doing this kind of investment to their customers, and I think that's going to actually help you out. Okay, you would have some fraudsters here and there, but at the end of the day, the point of difference is fantastic, because Fashion Days, it's a strong brand, but it's not strong only because it has a huge diversity of products and a lot of premium brands, but also because it's helping out their customers to get this kind of services. So kudos for that. Moving further in terms of the new customers which are flooding the online world, because they are somehow forced. They are the late adopters, let's say, the ones which just started to buy online, or maybe they've been some reluctant, like my wife, right? She always sees those nice dresses, and she said, no, I don't think they are going to fit me, and I'm always in this I don't know, e-commerce for 14 years, and I'm trying to persuade her to buy. But this time she actually bought, and she got a dress, and she wasn't satisfied about it, and I said, okay, now you can return it. Yeah, but I need to pack it again, and I'm not gonna buy online forever. So, and why aren't you going to buy? Because it's a tedious work to pack it. So yeah, I'm not used to this kind of things. And guess what? 2 weeks after, she bought 3 dresses after this experience, but from another online store. So the question for you all is how you are making sure, and I think Robert, you've just answered to this question, how you are making sure that the late adopters of e-commerce are being treated well, so that they can come back, and so that your their CLV is going to be high after their first experience online. So Miruna, you are first as always.
Okay, thank you. Yes, I think that we also focus on services, and assure good services for not only for the late adopters, but for all our clients. Because in these times, definitely not necessarily the product or the price make the difference, but the little steps that you make, and the little things that you do. Like, for example, to assure that you call the client before you go to their house, or to help him unpack or put out the old furniture, or to help him put the new furniture in place. So there are little things that make the difference, and we invest a lot in this part. We also, like Robert says, we also make sure that we have a lot of people in the delivery area, which help us deliver the order fast and in good time, and make sure that the client will be happy in the end. We also make some improvements on the website. We focus on the product pages, and we make sure that we put on the product page all the details that a client will need to make up his mind. And for example, if he want to buy an expandable couch, he need to see the couch from all the angles, and to make sure that all the details are there in the photos. It's not like for us, for example, it's not like in fashion, where you also take the decision emotionally. You need a lot of time to make the decision. You need to take the decision with the family, to ask them if they want, if they like, because it's also a big investment. It's not like you're buying a dress. You're buying a couch for the next 5-6 years. So it's like tempur. We also have tempur on our website in Romania. So I know that this mattress is not cheap. So you need to think very well before you make up your mind regarding a product like this. So because of that, we improve the website, and we put a lot of images in the product pages, and we also invest in an augmented reality tool which help our clients to see our products directly in their houses. So basically, they could use their mobile phones or their tablet and not use their imagination. So they have the technology just in front of them, and they could see directly the couch, and with all the details. They could move the phone and see from all the angles all the details they need. Yeah. So basically, we did this kind of investment to make sure that our clients and our future clients have all the details they need in front of us, and because the stores are not available for them to help.
Yeah. One short break just to say to our audience that if they are willing to ask you anything, they are allowed to. Yeah. So you have a green light if you want to ask Robert, Miruna, or Kamran something. So Kamran, it's your turn. Tell us about how Tempur prevented the churn of customers and made some effort so that the late adopters will get their expectations met.
So I feel like I should have gone for the question first, because both Robert and Martina, they've had such amazing advancements. They've augmented reality end-to-end returns, and I'm like, we just did pictures really well and put some badges on. But then again, having said that, to all the audiences, you might be at different levels of sophistication in your company. If you get the basics right, it's sometimes much more than all these things. If you just focus on the basics, because there was once I was, when I was used to be moonlighting and be a freelancer, that I had gone to a client and they said, "What's the best thing you can do in digital marketing for?" It was a hotel group, and I said, "Well, you can put a Bluetooth enabled app in your mobile phone, and you don't need to have a kiosk. You can have an automated kiosk that'll give you the key, and you can at the last hour of, depending on whether they're half board or full board, you can send them an invite saying 20% off if you go in, do it." And he said, "Great, that's amazing." And I said, "Yeah, but you don't even have your SEO proper, and your website is crap. So let's just start with that first." So what I'm trying to say is, like, sometimes you need to start with the basics and do them right. And for us, addressing this was through the returns policy, signposting it really well, saying that you can return it. Most people are like, "Oh my God, how do I return? Do I need to like hire a van to return it?" So we made it simple and explained it much better. And this was also there, the checkout, that there's a 90-day return policy. So that's the simple thing that we did. We did imagery as well. And if they, and we made it really no hassle return for them. It wasn't as simple as Robert's solution. I wish there was a giant container that they can throw it in. We'd like to go for it. And I also wish we could do augmented reality as well. That is the next step, though, by the way. But we're not there yet. But we did focus on this, and it truly helped us.
Yeah, excellent. Hygiene before cosmetics, right? So, in terms of the forecast for this quarter, so I've heard all these quarters which were skyrocketing 100%, 200%, 230%. But do you have any, let's say, forecasts, or how do you see the trends going on for the last quarter of 2020?
I will let Robert this time because I'm sure that he has already a big numbers. I want to double what he says. I will say double the numbers.
What we see first is that the shift in customer habits is here to stay. So we are looking at a lot of data from Europe and also from Romania, and we see that people obviously will buy more balanced between online and offline in the future. In Romania, e-commerce was 10% of the total retail. Probably it will move north of 20%. In fashion, it was 10%. It will move more than 30% share. So even though the market in fashion goes down, we see that this quarter online grows heavily. In our case, we grew with fashion roughly 70 to 80% in the last 7 months. We don't expect that this rhythm will stay forever, but surely Christmas time and January and February, which are usually sales month for fashion, are going to go really high. For us, I think the main question would be, how do you look at year on year in April? Because that's going to be the key question and key answers. Is it going to be flat because this April was great? Is it going to still grow 10%, 20%? That's a lot of differences in terms of volumes when you talk about $1 billion or $2 billion company. So in this case, 10% is huge, and over the rhythm. And as we see it now, we see that this trend will still go for the next year, but the year on year from April and onwards will go down. Probably in the next year's conferences, all of us will talk more like 20, 25, 30%. And obviously in some industries they can go higher. But for sure, this trend with e-commerce biting a huge chunk from offline is going to stay. And in that case, also probably there's going to be a lot of pressure next year on a lot of small and medium players from offline. Maybe some of them will go bankrupt. The others who will not will probably be very tough on pricing, and they will put pricing down. So for competition, from competition point of view and from customer point of view, next year will be great, and also this winter, because there's going to be a lot of discounts and great prices, because this is what happens when there is a shift in the industry. The one who are winning, they want to grow faster, like we are. The one who are losing share, they don't want to just lose the share without a tough battle, and that usually goes in customer favor.
Yeah, that's true. Miruna, what's your take about let's say this year-over-year growth, and how was your industry affected? Because we're all, let's say here, the digital tech savvies, which are the winners of this pandemic, the so-called winners. But how was your industry in general?
Actually, I heard that whole industry and whole digital marketing in the home and garden industry are doing very well. So judging from the signals of the market, everybody is doing good right now, especially those who are in e-commerce, of course. I heard about 150% growth in the whole e-commerce market in general. So there are a lot of big steps ahead during this pandemic. And like I said in the beginning, a lot of basically the focus of the clients from travel and from holidays goes in reshaping their houses. But at some point this will stop, because they will be allowed to travel again. and I'm sure that at that point in time, we will suffer a big a big. I don't know how to say
Disappointment.
it. I don't know how to say it politically correct.
No, you will be like Buddha, right? You'll be knowing this will come, this moment will come, and you will be
Yes.
Zen.
Yes, exactly. So I'm sure that that all of us right now are thinking about strategies that about what to do when this will happen, and I'm sure that that everybody will hit the door when the door will be open for us, and. Yes, I'm sure that next year will be definitely more challenging than this one. Even that this pandemic scared us a lot in the beginning. That was actually a big success for the online industry and for us all who are playing in the e-commerce.
Yeah.
So we will see next year what will happen, and I'm curious about what will be the actions that we will talk about next year in this conference. What we'll do.
So that's clear that there is going to be a next episode in 2021. So
Yes,
stay tuned.
because this one is with a lot of good news. Everybody's happy. Black Friday, big numbers. Everybody's really happy. What the next year will really challenge us a lot
Yeah,
to improve and to be creative, and to keep our clients there interested.
yeah. So, Kamran, how do you see this aspect? So, how was the whole industry where you are playing, where Tempur is playing, being affected, despite the this let's say spike in the online activities?
Yeah, so everybody seems to be forecasting really well for this year, like Martina said. Like everybody seems to be forecasting positively, triple digit growth, and all the other bed companies, the newcomers, the entrants are buoyed. You see statements in the press about increasing their marketing budget and the like, and certainly there'll be some there'll definitely be some unexpected gems over there who've kind of been able to react so tactfully, and also I think the key thing at the moment is retain them as well.
Yeah,
And those people who retain them or are able to retain them and engage them into 2021 and throughout 2021 will be the key winners. We have a focus on this on Temper. We are well aware that this is what is going to be. We have a focus on mobile as well. So we're looking at different channels. Should we use WhatsApp? What does that do to the brand? What kind of content? If there's a large group on WhatsApp in terms of mobile marketing, do we send them curated content just about
yeah,
sleeping, insomnia, and things like that? And what is the stickiness level? How do we retain this buoyancy that we have right now? How do we retain most of it? Because it's definitely going to go down. And in digital marketing, obviously, when you do like a viral campaign, it's shown that again and again that it goes spikes up, and it does come down, but it never comes down to the same level. It retains itself on a higher level. So in order to retain itself into the higher level and not gradually go down, we need to have really good retention tactics, and a plan in place, and really try different things to retain that, depending on your market segment and who you're going for. I think for Robert, he might be looking at TikTok or something like that, and to retain them, and same with Martina. And it's not for us. It's not suitable at all to do that, because our age range and of people who buy it is much older. So these are the next steps that marketers should be thinking about in terms of retention, and way beyond just the traditional ways of CRM and email. Yes, that's one touch point, but just remember, you're not the only one with a CRM system. Everybody else is doing it. So everybody else is competing with your inbox. So you have your inbox, your delivery confirmation, you have Tempor, you have Day Fashion, you have, you have all of these things in it, and they're all competing with your attention. So you need another way to get to them as well. And that's what's going to be the key insight, where you're going to go, this is what held us. And there's going to be a little downturn in terms of, they're definitely not the triple digit numbers. It's going to come back to normalcy, but who will retain it to a higher level than what it was in last year, of retention will play a key part of that.
I do think the same, and I'm actually happy that we're having access to this kind of data. We recently we launched Reveal, and we got data from 800 different e-shops from all over the world, from various verticals. At the end of this year, hopefully, with the help of my team, we will come up with the benchmark so that you can see how the different industries on different continents are doing, so that you can evaluate if the growth rate is not there or not. What I can say, though, by looking at this data preliminary, I'm a data geek, so I've analyzed data from 151 different shops yesterday when I got my presentation, and I've seen that the frequency is shortening. So the customers are not waiting for 3-4 months so that they can buy again. And I think in fashion is the same, and it is the same from my perspective, because people are actually staying at their homes, they are bored, and they are anxious to actually get out. So what do? I buy a new pair of sneakers, even though I have 3 new pairs of sneakers that I bought last month. Is that right, Robert? Have you seen that as well?
Of course, probably you have looked at our data, so that's why you have so many insights. But really, one comment though, I don't think for a Friday night it's good to tell the people that next that 2021 is going to be more challenging than 2020. We don't want to scare them out of this conference. But yes, we see it also that the frequency goes up, and we also put this change of habit due to the fact that in the last 7 to 8 months, people, also because of the lockdown, had to try a little bit more online. They understood that that's a great experience. Then it sticks to their mind. We look at a lot of research data, and we see that in the case of Fashion Days, we are right now challenging Zara for top of mind in Romania after H&M, and we used to be number 6 in this chart, and we are right now, after a couple of months, pushed to number 3. Also, we look in the last 3 months, purchase and last purchase data, and also we see that we are in top 3 right now, and that's a very fast track, let's say, a race to the top for an e-commerce player that or any other e-commerce players. They used to be in the spot 7, number 7, number 9. They were there in the mix, but the big guys like Zara and H&M were dominating the charts. And right now, online players are growing faster in future consideration and for the customers and in a top of mind, and that doesn't go away in 1 month or 2. So the more months this pandemic stays with us, it will obviously accelerate those data in the top of mind, and that's really important for the customers. And that top of mind changes drive the frequency and the recency. and then if the people got a great experience, and you can see those from analyzing different buckets of customers and obviously focusing on the new customers, you understand that they will constantly grow customer lifetime value. And we see just one additional comment here. We see that there are different features in the e-commerce funnel that help a lot the frequency. First is customers who save their cards tend to buy more. So if you kind of engage customers to save the cards, you're going to see that they were going to buy more. If they adopt a locker, or in our case in Romania an easy box, again because they have a locker close to their home and it's really convenient, they immediately increase the customer lifetime value for the next months. So there are different pedals of acceleration that show that the customers are changing habits, and that you can hook that customers to a higher growth in frequency and recency.
So, Robert, regarding this, we have a question from Alexandra. What do you use to track their customer experience, and are they more willing to answer to these customer satisfaction surveys than they were previously?
I would say the first comment is that we got higher NPS score in the pandemic. One, obviously, we are a big group and we managed to deliver very fast, and that usually increases the Net Promoter Score. But yeah. We see that people are more willing to, as long as they have transparency, and this is the highest factor in terms of high promoter score. They understand if you can deliver in 2 days, not next day, from time to time, as long as you're very transparent with where their order is. So we focused a lot on transparency, and we see that people enjoy this transparency and come back with feedback. So if you are doing the basics right in these pandemic times, where people they know from the news outlets that usually e-commerce is breathing a little bit heavier, that the logistics is a little bit complicated, and when they see that you fulfill your promise and that you deliver in time, they are willing to give you higher Net Promoter Score, which means obviously that they will come faster to you back. And then if you come back with information and also are tracking some customers, we are doing a weekly call with 200 and something customers, understanding their habits. And we with eMAG, for example, we have this Genius subscription, which is equivalent of Amazon Prime, and we do in-depth tracking of their behavior to understand what type of categories they are buying more. Why don't they buy beverages more? If it's pandemic time, we can spare them some time in the supermarkets. Why don't they even try fashion with eMAG sometimes? Because all of us are dressed, obviously. So we are trying to understand more and more, and people are willing to answer back and to give you feedback if they see that you are fulfilling the promise. So again, as we all said in this panel, stick to the basics, get it really right, and then you're gonna enjoy a lot of benefits. And this is one of great benefits. If people see that you're a great service, they will give you hints and tips, and they will enjoy talking to you and giving you back data, not just qualitative data that we track through technology, but also in qualitative data in calls or focus groups.
Yep. So everyone, we have 2 more questions. The first one is, what have you learned this year about e-commerce that you haven't knew properly or at all since against last year know-how? Who wants to answer?
I will jump here, and I would say that we learned to forecast better, because we did it wrongly so many times in the first weeks that we spent a lot of time in beta forecasting. So I believe that when these type of changes happen, it's really tough to forecast and build correct targets and budget. But once you focus more on it and you'll understand, then you're again willing to take more risks. So I would say that we knew how to forecast, but the importance of precise forecasting is something that we learned. And again, we knew that the basics are important, but sticking to the basics and making it almost perfect, it's sometimes more important than a lot of fine-tunes in technology. And this happens in terms of fashion, for example, because one of the questions earlier was about new customers and how you can engage them. Well, people wanted pajamas in April, and we're out of pajamas, or let's say basic underwear. I mean, you have to have a lot of stock and a lot of variety, and then you're gonna make the customers happy. So sticking to the basics was more important than this year than ever, and this is a learning, I would say, because a lot of stuff that we learn, we also read from different studies, from this type of meetings and panels. So we kind of are filled with information, but we learned the weight of this information and the weight of efforts that we have to put, that they have to be in a better balance. And again, our focus as a group was get the basics perfect and invent a little bit more afterwards.
Excellent. Kamran, what have you learned from e-commerce so that we could balance the order here?
One thing interesting was, I'm sure others as well, there was a lot of insight when the pandemic first happened. We asked for a lot of insight from everybody. Oh, tell us the reports, tell us what you think, tell us these agencies, what should we do, how should we go about it? Some people give us 20, some people give us 60. I mean, they were all very good. But we almost suffered from too much information. And by the time you can react and actually implement it, things changed again. And it was like, there were a lot of head holding moments, like, don't tell me this has happened kind of moments, which were happening quite frequently because it was changing quite a lot. So the takeaway was that from all the insights, some of the key things that is like Robert said, was basic good business communication. Have that well communicated, visualization, have everything like easily understandable, snackable content and consumable, and that not only applied, surprise for the customer, but it turns out it also applied for the company as well, that you needed snackable content in order to absorb and see which things are pragmatically possible in the next 2 months to deploy, and if we're deploying it at the end of 2 months, is that too late or too soon? So this was one of the few times that we too much data made us kind of suffer a little bit. By the time we actually made a decision and implemented it, it was too late to have the outcome or result from it. That was a learning from me, because I had never suffered from too much data and not being able to analyze it, because the changes were so good. I mean, you'd never hear it. So that was an interesting thing for me. Secondly, we not exactly related to your question, but quite similar. GDPR hit us. We decided to go full throttle with GDPR and hit us, and it's still an issue, but not as big an issue. But I think also I started looking at all the Black Friday things other people were doing, and like, it hit me in the face when I was looking at it, just looking at it. I said, oh my God, the GDPR notification is the first thing people see. Why don't we have a Black Friday teaser in the GDPR notification? It would possibly help increase the acceptance rates as well. And so, then I realized that I've been so distracted with COVID and how to like overcome it, and how do we be 10 steps ahead, that there was some stuff that's staring at you that normally you do in BAU and look at it, that you didn't during this time. So those were some revelations that I had personally, and I hope it resonates with the audience here.
Yeah, sure. Miruna?
I think that this was our time to prove to our new customers and also to our old customers what we are doing, and we are living really changing times and challenging times. And when we are talking about changing things, the people are reluctant. They are when you want to change something, it's natural to be the opposite and to react the other way around, or you need more information, or it's also changing this time means also a lot of uncertainty. So we basically we look at ourselves and we realize that to be better for our clients means to listen them more and to ask them more than telling them buy now, buy right now, take this discount. By changing the communication into what do you need more, what do you need right now. So basically we change the focus on bi-directional communication and asking more than telling them what to do. And this is one thing that I also see with the clients, but also inside the company. The people from the inside the company, with all this changing, with work from home, with how the business is going during this pandemic time, they need a lot of information, and communication was really the key, and transparency also. Keep them aligned with what you're gonna do and with your strategy and how the sales are going and everything. So we made the same with the clients, telling them what we're going to do. If we will close the stores, when we will open the stores again, and what are the measures that we will take during this time. So I think that again, listening, communication, and transparency was really the points that help us a lot and make us realize that that was really important.
Yeah. So I can also add to this from my end. I've learned this year, like it was like a training, like all the other 6 years before we built this company 7 years ago, and it looked like, okay, this 6 years was the training, and now it's real time, right? So let's play. And for us was a fantastic year so far, even though it was completely overwhelming, and we've got all these problems, like our senior management, all of them had a baby, a newborn baby in their house, and it was like crazy to do all these meetings and realign together and focus on what's coming for us all. But I'm really, let's say, grateful for this year, even though we suffered like crazy. It was let's say, outstanding year that I will surely remember when I'll be 70, 80, 90, or whatever. So with that, I'm going to show my gratitude to all of you. Thanks a lot. May your predictions be bad, and next year to have outstanding results as well, but also end this pandemic, despite the fact that pandemic was over. So thanks again, Robert, Miruna, and Kamran, for your presence here, and thanks all of you for watching. Next is going to be a short break, and then we will have Kunle Campbell from 2X eCommerce. He's going to speak about how to build resilient lifecycle funnels that acquire and retain customers. Again, thanks all of you for watching. Again, thanks all of you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us. Honored.
Have a good weekend. Bye.
Have a good weekend. Bye.